Hello everyone, this is Winter Night here, and I am playing Katawa Shoujo. Sorry I haven't uploaded one of these in a few weeks. Apparently Xbox Live DVR decided to stop working, so it forced me to find a different kind of software for in-game capture footage. I came across one called OBS, and I'm using that instead. It's actually pretty useful, surprisingly enough. It even has a face cam, but I'm not going to use that because I have a lack of expressions that I do not think I can make anyone laugh, even if I tried. I'll try it for a scary game if I ever come across one that actually terrifies the hell out of me. Anyway, let's get to it. Back in my room, the first thing I see is a familiar row of medication bottles lined up on top of my dresser. It makes me depressed as usual. It's annoying, I thought. It's annoying. I thought I was okay. I thought I had made my peace with this thing, gotten over it. But what I really did, I allowed myself to forget that I have a problem. Being here really reminds me of the reality, and trying to fight against it just hurts. So, you're gonna grab that razor there, sir? I'm gonna put on some very black clothing and start wandering around the halls with the words sadness, sorrow, misery floating over your head like a dark cloud. Because I've seen that before, and it's never fun. Reflecting on it is only going to do so much. I've done this before. For months. It seems like it's time to get over it. Oh, really? You just came to that resolution? If I allow myself to forget that my life is definitely not going to be as long as those of others, I won't get anywhere. Yeah, you won't get anywhere, all right. And with that attitude, you won't be going anywhere fast. Gotta tell you that. My life may be different from others, but it is a life in progress. Yeah, much like the load times in a few very old games. It takes as long as your lifespan does. That is how I rationalize it. Good for you. I down the usual handful of pills, trying to push the sudden dreary feeling out of my head. Then I prepare to head out to class early as usual. As I step into the hallway, I notice Kenji coming around the hallway corner. Run! Run! Don't talk to him. Run! He's the devil! Making his way over to his room with a large bag. As he sneaks past me, soundlessly, like a ninja hiding in plain sight, I call out to him. Why would you do that? Hey. And of course, here we go. He jumps at the sound of my voice. Oh, hey man, I didn't notice you there. I'm really tired. Oh really, what were you doing? Breaking into a bank? Or worse, a convenience store? Wait, I think a bank would be worse. Yeah, a bank would be worse, my bad. I think it's more like he didn't see me. But that's not the issue. Where have you been this early? Shopping? Nah, I wasn't shopping. Sometimes I have to visit the math teacher. Yeah, I figured it would be a good idea to find out when the next exam is. Since he tells you in advance if you want. When those ellipses appear in front of a word and he's trying to think of an excuse, you know for a fact he's lying. So then, what's in the bag? See? I thought I'd go shopping while I was outside. I need supplies to continue to fight against the vast feminist conspiracy. Where's the question of where are you at in this modern age, sir? Where are you at in 2017? Okay. I thought you didn't go outside. I wear a hat now. Oh, really? Where is it? Is it just invisible? I decide I decided not to point out that he is not wearing a hat. Even Hikchan notices this. An awkward silence settles between us, and then Kenshi breaks it by pushing his door open slowly, releasing a creaking sound into the air that only makes the moment seem more awkward. He sets the bag down inside his room and then closes the door. I'm surprised you went out of your way to find out a test date. Trying to take advantage of the opportunity to study is pretty diligent. I never study. Then why did you ask about it? Oh. Yeah, oh. I just want to know when the next test day is. Or the next test day was. I'm still going to take it, duh. I need to know so I know what day I can't afford to skip class. He usually sends out updates on that crap by phone, so I had to step out and check up on it. And why do you have to go out when you can get it on your phone? I don't carry a phone. Fair point. That's a fair point. What do you mean you don't carry a phone? You mean you just leave it at home? Nah, I don't use phones. I don't have a phone. I have no phones. Why don't you have a phone? How can you not have a phone? No phone at all? No phone? Okay, that question's repeating. Quit repeating it. I just don't like phones. Actually, I'm kind of scared of them. Wait. I don't know why. I think it's some kind of repressed trauma. What repressed trauma? From another life? Because I highly doubt another life had cell phones. But basically, when I hear a phone, I get nervous. It's my darkest secret. No, I'm pretty sure you have it more than just that. I have two theories on it. Either I'm in fear of receiving some unidentified, ominous, life-altering Zoom call. Anyone heard of the Ring yet? I'm pretty sure he's afraid of watching Ring. 1 or 2, or even Rings the third. The ring-a-ding. Or I was beaten with a phone in the past. How are you beaten with a phone? And beaten so badly that you can't remember? Sincerely, dude. I'm still wondering what the hell you are. Are you a person? Are you just some troll that lives in his dorm room? Beaten in the head. Yeah, that's probably what turned you into a troll. Well, where else could I get beaten with a phone that would make me unable to remember it? The app. Yes, sure. Let's go with that. Unexpectedly logical. I feel very depressed now. I just feel irritated. I just want to punch him in the face. That's all I want to do is punch this man in the face because I do not like him. Not one bit. He's an ass. Sensing this conversation is more or less over, Kenshi opens the door again and prepares to head inside. Yeah, I'm going to sleep, dude. Have a good one. Class is going to start in like 20 minutes. I already did something today. Too tired to go to school. Hey, need some lip balm? I accidentally bought 2 because I thought the store had started selling individual AA batteries. What does that have to do with anything? Thanks, but no thanks. Yeah. Well, whatever, man. He swiftly enters his lair, finally letting me go to the class. For a change, I am not among the first ones to come to the morning class. Instead, almost everyone else seems to be here already. I recognize most of my class by their faces by now. Though the names escape me still. Yeah, don't worry, dude. That's been the same thing ever since, like, the first time I started freshman year and ended in and graduated in senior. You'd be surprised how little I care about the people around me, especially when I'm in school. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I've even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overtly attentive. Overtly attentive? Why isn't it overly? Then again. Who cares? The first days I was pretty high-strung in class. Yeah, I wonder why. Mudo finishes his lecture about electricity early, but continues without a pause about the festival. So as you know, the festival is on the day after tomorrow. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. Bleh. Jeez, I hate when I have to clear out my throat. Have a good time, but also come Sunday, please keep the meaning of this festival in your minds. Games and fried food. I'm sorry, isn't this game set in Japan? Because, I mean, really. Usually we Americans eat the fried food. As you know, that stereotype. I'm not going to go into the Japanese stereotype because I'd rather not. And I'd rather not get yelled at by people who are either weeaboos or really, really easily offended people. Oh, wait a minute. Pretty sure it was Misa, not Mudo. Yeah, games and fried food! Yeah, there we go. Everyone bursts out in laughter, and so do I. Yes, thank you, Mikado. But what? Okay, that was interrupted, so I don't have to read that. The remainder of his sentence was buried beneath the ring of the lunch bells, and everyone started packing their things. Mudo deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to pay attention anymore, he gives up and sits down. It's crowded in the hallway, or as crowded as hallways in this school probably get. Most of the students seem to be heading down for the cafeteria. Sao! I'm going to make you a one-time only super extra special lunch offer. Emmy's homemade lunch boxes and the privilege of enjoying them in a private bombshell beauties. What the hell are you, a used car saleswoman? Her overly flirtatious sales pitch echoes in the hallway in a remarkable feat since it's full of people. Echolocation, my friend. Even if there's sound waves running about, it's still gonna bounce. The waves are still gonna bounce from wall to wall, especially in a narrow hallway. Emmy strikes a very confident-looking pose, as an attempt to one-up her own ridiculousness. Puffing her very modest chest, making the V for victory sign with her hand. Sounds delicious. To what do I owe this honor of being invited? Hold on, let me do that again. Sounds delicious. So what do I owe this honor of being invited? How was that? You stood there looking really lost and sad, so I thought you could use some company. That is probably the most depressing reason imaginable. Nah, I've seen worse and heard worse. How about it? You're probably really lonely, and we eat that awful cafeteria food all alone. All alone otherwise. From what I've experienced the cafeteria food in America, I can only imagine what Japanese cuisine, cafeteria cuisine is like. Yeah. I'm kidding. Sure, I'll have your lunch offer. With pleasure. Let's go to the roof. The roof? Why the roof? Because that's where we eat lunch. And if I don't get up there, then she'll probably wander off. Then I'll just know she'll go hungry because she never packs a lunch for herself. Who will? Come with me. Without answering my question or waiting for a response, she grabs me by the arm and drags me through the hallways. I attempt to make conversation on the way. Good luck with that. Why do you have an extra lunch? Emmy smiles guiltily. Actually, it's yesterday's lunch. I slipped in a run at lunch and forgot to eat it. Aw. How do you slip and then forget to eat your lunch? Nurse's office, probably if it has a very short lunch period. The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with a missing padlock, because staff cannot be bothered. I wonder who the intrepid who the mysterious individual was that, or the intrepid. I wonder who the moronic individual was that removed that lock, because I can't seem to figure out how to word, and I don't know how to freaking spell out that sentence. Okay. Emmy shoves the door open and steps, beaming into the sunlight. Suddenly, a tall, dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Emmy flinches back, almost falling down the stairs. Eek! Hello. Babes, you scared me, Rin. Wait, isn't she... Hello. Noticing that Rin is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me. Did you know each other? I look confusedly at Emmy. She's that friend of yours? Rin has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school. I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy. I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy. Yeah. It's kind of hard to voice, especially with my vocal cords. Ellipses. The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds until Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off. I invited Hiss out for lunch, if you know him. If you know him, that's just better. Oh, does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Astute logic therein. Neither. I have food for three. Nice thinking. You'll walk to the other end of the roof while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. And the weirdness that just occurred. There is nobody else. There's no one else. There's nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as it is in the other schools. I guess the roof is not as popular as it is in other schools. I wonder why, because it rains a lot up there? That or Rin's there and everyone just keeps their distance because of her second world realities. A few rundown benches and tables are scattered around the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the roof look less desolate. Small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peek through the chain link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the around the shape and the cafeteria, because I can't freaking pronounce that to save my life, along with Intrepid. Oh. Intrepid. Oh, I'm an idiot. Trying to become a poet and a writer, and I'm just that stupid. I can't word for shit. I'm an idiot. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school and towards the convenience store nearby. Somewhere a watchdog barks at a passerby. Somehow, when I look towards the town center, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. But what is with these words? Palpably. I'm just gonna go with that and hope it's right. The hectic lifestyle of big metropolises seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depended on it, or get their senses overloaded by neon lights and traffic jams. And somewhere in America, Weird Al Yankovic is complaining about traffic jams. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine, looking at my new hometown, even if it's going to be mine for only one short year. I could always move in. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly, I haven't had time to think about how I feel. I haven't had time to think how I feel about it. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. Sun shines from a perfectly clear, cooling sky. Pretty sure I mispronounced that too. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries a scent of the trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to just a few weeks ago. Emmy settles on a bench with Ren in tow and produces one big and two small lunchboxes from her bag. Come on, Hisao, what are you waiting for? She's begging me to join them, making room on the already small bench. I seat myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all three of us fit on it. Impressive view. Emmy suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Ren and hands another lunchbox to me. Here you go. Lunch is promised. Homemade. Homemade, no less. I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good. Thanks, I make them myself. I make them myself when I can. Conversation dies off, as I said, about the business of feeding myself. Too bad I don't have that much food where I'm living right now, as in my house, because most of my siblings, most of the residents here are very stingy about food, especially when they pay for it and they start yelling at me because I happen to find it and no one tells me it's theirs. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Rin definitely opening the lunchbox and popping a forkful of food into her mouth using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I'm in right now. Will I ever get used to sights such as this? I would. Dude, it's just... Unless you stepped in dog crap and that's spilling on the food, and I should shut up before that starts going into a very terrible scenario. I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean I'm going to give up on being a normal person? Dude, you have 2 arms, 2 legs, still a head and a nose, and most of your other senses. All your problem is arrhythmia. All you have is arrhythmia, dude. Granted, it's a lot more debilitating than what these two have, which is missing legs and missing arms, and that's about it. They get to live a full life, unless missing. I wonder, does missing a limb lower your or decrease your lifespan? I wonder that. Meh. Or does it just mean that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? Let's go with that, Hick-chan, because if not, then you're an ass. I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. Perfect way of putting that. It's a great way of putting that, Hick-chan. Good job. You seem pretty hungry. Emmy looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding. My morning run always works up an appetite. Which is great, because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure. What would happen if you lose it? Would you become a man? Bravo, Red, bravo. I very nearly choke on my lunch trying not to laugh. It's a figure of speech. Does your figure run Does your figure have to run in the mornings too? Do you always talk like this? If so, that's very entertaining. I might have lied about the face cam. I should have done that. Oh, that's great. Talk like what? Like what? I think that answers my question. And never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. How'd you two meet? Rin seems content to let Emmy answer this question. Someone in the housing department, that would be... We'd complement each other well. So we were assigned rooms next to one another. Complement each other? Like shoes in a suit. Huh? Emmy giggles at my confusion. Put us together and we've got all our limbs, get it? Ah. So I started helping Ren get ready in the mornings. And that was that. You can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along. I see. Ren chooses this moment to interject. I have trouble with shirts. No shit. Yeah, we all wonder how you tie them in a knot. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Really? Kind of. This isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find the whole thing funny. That, combined with the fact that Rin is genuinely curious, makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. You've got no on. So, putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking now. Yeah, good choice. Bravo, good choice. It'll save me a lot of trouble in the long run. No shit. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner. I see. The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Emmy finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise. Ah, that was good. As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Rin speaks up. I'm thirsty. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Sorry. With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry, one to Rin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with milk with pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Oh sure, I get the ones that give me the shite. No wait, no. Prunes do that. Right, I get the one that gives me the pisses and the... They get the ones that... Rin dexterously... stabs her straw through the top of her lunchbox and begins to drink. Juice box. I am once again impressed by how flexible she is. But this time I keep my comment to myself. No shit. Somehow I don't think either Emmy or Rin are the sorts of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Rin especially so. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Oh, what are these stubs? I don't know. Well, I guess I didn't need them. Here's Rin. Man, what are these stubs for? I guess I don't know. I guess they don't matter. Oh well. Whether or not that is a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure. So, Hisao, how do you like it up here? It's quite nice, actually. I like high places, for the view. Thanks for inviting me up here. And for the lunch, too. Emmy grins in a 1,000-watt grin. Pleased by my response, I suppose. No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time. Next time too, okay? I won't make you a lunch, and you can bring your own up here. No lunch service? I don't know. Emmy looks mock offended. What, is she going Mach 10? No, wait, no, that's M-A-C-H. Oh. Damn it, I went into a joke and then I screwed it up by explaining it. Oh, that's how I work. Trying to take advantage of my good nature? The nerve! She giggles. Well, if that's your answer, I guess Rin and I will just keep eating the lunch alone. I am suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rending puppy dog eyes I have ever seen. Peasant pouts. Kidding, I was kidding. I'll have to eat lunch up here again. Jeez. Good location, the company's okay too. Emmy frowns a bit at my declaration of okay. That seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I guess this makes us friends now. Or at least acquaintances. The lunch bell rings, signaling a return downstairs. Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again. I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away. Rin shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we better get going. Three of us head down the stairs together. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library to return a couple of the books I finished reading. Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday, all the more evident that from the almost total silence enveloping the room. Except for that loud slam. As I drop the books I borrowed into the return slot in the counter, Yuko suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the banging that they make as they hit the trolley next to her. Ah, sorry, Yuko, I didn't mean to startle you. No, that's fine. It happens a lot. I'm used to it by now. Can I help you? It's okay, I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I'm supposed to grab another book or two while I'm here. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. Not much else to do. And after reading so much during my stay in the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. I wander down the fiction section towards the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eye. As I do, I look over the corner where Hanako had been the last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come of it. Oh, hey, there she is. Surprisingly, though, she is there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book. Oh, I bet. They don't look that thick. Please, I've read Harry Potter. Those things took one of those things took a month in 5th grade. Let me tell you, and it wasn't fun. I decide against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding the reading material. After an indiscernible amount of time spent perusing the aisles, I finally decide on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. For the minimum fuss, I quickly walk over to the counter and check out my books, and pop them into my bag as I walk out. Doop-de-doop-de-doop-de-doop. By the time I leave the main building, Sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. I guess I need to buy some supplies. Can't live off the cafeteria food and eating out for my entire stay here. As I leave the gate, I make a few loud stretches to try and stave off the tiredness that accumulated over the week. After passing through Radius Corner, though, I see a solitary figure walking downhill towards the small town below. The color of her hair and the tapping of her cane are unmistakable. I quickly walk up to her, which seems to catch her attention without a word being said. Hey, Lily. She takes a moment to place the voice, slightly adjusting her head to face a bit more towards the source of my voice, as she goes. Miss Al? Yep, that's me. She seems to have a good memory for voices. The fact that she actually remembered is a pleasant surprise. Good evening. What Once again, she gives a small polite bow, and once again, I reply in kind, before realizing that I need to do so. Just going into town? Just going into town. You? My mind, what a coincidence. Doing the same thing, eh? I usually go shopping on Friday. But what's different? She paused for a moment, suddenly looking a little lost. That said, who will you come into town with me? That lost the word. The two do seem to keep pretty close to half of one another. It's kind of surprising how they just forget the how indecent. I noticed her reading in the library. She probably got caught up in a book. She lets out a small sigh of relief. Thank you. She has a habit of doing that. Avid reader? Right. She doesn't like being around crowds of people, so reading away from everyone lets her relax a bit. Although she probably didn't intend it, I can't help but grimace as I recall my first reading. Hardly wanted to bring it up. I remain silent as we quietly continue to walk along the road. Tack, 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 tack. Tick, tack, tick, tack, tick, tack, tack. With the road bereft of cars, Yamaku increasingly far behind us. The quiet rustling of the leaves and the measured tapping of Zoe's cane against the sidewalk are all I can hear. Nice. Especially compared to the hustle and bustle of work. Yeah, big cities. In loud airplane landing noise. Yeah, I could get used to living out in the desert. Before I know it, I'm relaxed so much that a loud yawn escapes before I can control. Tired? Yeah, I've been running ragged these past few days. That's enough. Sure. Transferring to a different school would be bad enough, but nothing like this. Well, hopefully everything should settle down for you. The festival got everyone in this spin right now. You walked right in the middle of things. For a moment I hesitated, given an apparent tolerance for frankness. I decided to give my full thoughts. I guess Yamaku is kind of different, though. I mean, the formality surrounding everything, the isolation around it, not to mention the most obvious difference. It's kind of a whole different mindset, I suppose. A whole different mindset. I suppose I'll get used to it, though. She gives a matter-of-fact nod, apparently pleased with my answer. It feels almost as if she included me in the flock of students she's shepherding, along with class 3, 2, and Hana. Well, not that I mind. It's nice to get the thoughts on my toes and opinions. Looking on the bright side, one could see it as a chance for any beginning. You should cherish the ability to make new friends. It's optimistic. Nonetheless, it's good to have a positive attitude about such things, I suppose. I guess that's a good take on it. Walking down the road, she seems to become somewhat unsettled. Before I can ask what's on her mind, she seems to collect herself and speaks up about something else. So, where in town were you going? That's actually a pretty good question. I'd come in to buy food, but the layout of the place is still totally foreign to me. Yeah, considering you were staying in the school most of the time. I had intended to just wander around and see what I could find, but with the sunset already approaching and nightfall not too far away, it doesn't seem very wise. Hey, you don't know what muggers will be there. Then again, you can always hit them upside the head with your school bag. I mean, really. That's what I carry around I carried around big old heavy books in my bag for. Never read them, just use them as very hard melee weapons. I'm going to have to ask her for directions again. I was just going to get some food, but now that you mention it, I really don't know the way. Well now, this is quite lucky. I was just about to go to the convenience store myself. Looks like I'll be your I'll be in your care again. Thanks. Together we walk to the store. My pace is carefully slowed to remain beside her. Compared to my usual walking pace, hers is quite a bit slower. Not that it's without reason. After what couldn't be more than several minutes, I catch sight of our objective. This town really is pretty small. Without further ado, we make our way inside with a greeting from the counter. Mind if I tag along with you? Usually Hanako would help me, but seeing as she's not here, it takes a moment before I realize what she means. Oh, really? For the fact that she's blind, dude? Because, yeah, if it took a moment, then you kind of slip. Well, then again, it doesn't mean that stuff. Well, never mind, I'm shutting up now. Considering she would be able to read any of the labels, shopping without help would be a big pain for her. That said, I can't shake the feeling that she'd had this idea since I said I was coming here. Sure, it'd be my pleasure. I grabbed two well-used red baskets from the small stack beside the entrance, handing one to Lily. She lays it on the ground, putting her school bag in it, retracting her cane and sliding it through the basket's handles, for picking it back up in her right hand. Wait, if she doesn't use her cane... Before I can complete the thought, she jumps beside me and pinches the cuff of my uniform in her slender fingers. Is this alright? Sure. I have no reason not to accept. I can think of worse things than shopping with a pretty girl holding on to me, even if it is only out of necessity. We navigate our way through the store, with not one of the occasional passing customers seeming to bat an eyelid. Considering how close Yamaku is, I guess seeing students from there must be entirely normal for the local residents. As we reach each aisle, I quickly check with Lily and find out what she needs. I grab it along with what I'm looking for and put our things into their respective baskets. I guess this is the same routine she and Hanako follow every day. Right, all that's left is the bread, and that should be my shopping done. Do you need anything else, Lily? No, this should be everything. Good, off we go then. With a quick side trip to this bakery section, we make our way to the registers. The line, thankfully, is almost non-existent. It's not long before we both paid for our food and are out the door. As Lily retrieves her cane and extends it to its full length, I waste a minute looking upwards at the night sky, while holding both our bags. For a moment, I try to make out the clouds with my breath. But the summer seat doesn't seem to cooperate. Eventually, she rights herself, taking a quick stretch before taking her bag and leaving me to my seat. You tired as well? The festival preparations have been complete chaos. Shizun keeps breathing down my neck. Shizun breathing down my neck doesn't exactly help things either. Hey, she's only trying to get everything organized. But better now than later, right? I suppose. I'm going to enjoy relaxing in town tomorrow. That's for sure. I guess the festival preparations must be taking a toll on both of them. We walk out into the quiet street, talking between ourselves as we carry our bags of food and supplies from the store. Wait, what's that? I notice a very distinct figure making its way towards us, silhouetted by the street lamps. For a second, I think it's another male student from our class. but as he, or should I say she, gets closer, I recognize her quickly. And it's Rin, everybody. Rin, what are you doing out here so late? Rin? Lily perks her head, looking like she's trying to focus on listening more keenly. It suddenly comes to me that I should probably interpret the scene for her. It's Rin. It's Rin Tezuka. I think was her last name from our school. She stiffens at the name and gives a complicated-looking expression, something like a forced fusion of a composed smile and a painful cringe. Well, jeez. I see no one is a big fan of Rin, except Emmy. I understand. I guess Lily knows Rin, too. Rin turns to look at us, looking terribly out of it. I'm not entirely sure if she recognizes either of us, or at least she doesn't acknowledge it if she does. She looks like a zombie, or a statue. A statue of a zombie. But slowly, some symptoms of understanding seem to light in her dark eyes. This is something she must react to. Rin blinks once, very thoroughly. Hello. There's an awkward pause, everyone waiting for someone else to say something. What are you doing here so late? Or this late? Bleh. I was wondering about that myself, too. Just now. Yep, there's that music. Some people asked that just before. I assume they were wondering the same. I didn't know. They didn't know either. I asked. That's why I'm wondering. The questions. What is the question and why is it being answered with another question? The absolute. So that was pretty much it. It's a murder mystery without a murder. Ellipses. They were going that way. She turns facing to her right in order to demonstrate the direction of the other people. She turns facing to her right in order to demonstrate the direction the other people went to as if that was important. Then rotates back like a mechanical puppet in one of those overly complicated clockworks. For a person who gives an impression of being the quiet type, Rin does usually use a lot of words to say things that don't need a lot to be said. Unsure if she was finished, I say nothing. Neither does Lily, who seems equally robbed of words for the time being. I think the both of us are in fact just scared that any response might provoke her to continue. It's a horrible thought. Our stupefied lack of reaction doesn't faze Rin at all. She keeps looking at us expectantly. A calm hint of expression on her blank face. She seems to be that kind of person, always so relaxed. As if bull elephant grade sedatives were flowing through her veins in the place of blood. The calmest person in the game, in this visual novel, everybody. Do you have amnesia? I don't recall you having anything of the sort, though. No, I don't think it's that. The other passerby were probably just worried, though. You look really lost. The way you're standing in the middle of the street. Oh, I see. Maybe I should have taken some other kind of pose in that case. I pondered for a while whether I should chase this angle further or just give up for the sake of my insanity. Let's go with number 2 on that, dude. I decided on the latter. Good choice, by the way. It seems that most of the time it's better to not read too deeply into what Rin is babbling about. Talking with Rin is like playing chess with a supercomputer who does seemingly completely random moves as if to mock everything you know about chess. It's like that, except for human interaction. And even if I win, it feels like losing. Damn, it's just like Kenshi said. Even when I win, I lose. This is the power of the girls of Yamato. Really? You're starting to play into that shithead? Ellipses. I pushed the thought aside as too dangerous to consider further. It's probably just Kenji's anti-female propaganda getting to me during a moment of weakness. Yeah, maybe another pose might have worked. So anyway, you have no idea what you're doing. She frowns, looking extremely displeased. Either my question, its consequences, or the answer she's about to give. I do have some idea. I can't really tell what kind of an idea. That sounds like progress at least. Lily sounds as if she's spotted an opening for some kind of discernible, normal conversation. I can't say I share her optimism. Yes, there is some. Definitely. The rest will come later. I'm sure of it. I always have reasons. The ensuing silence kills Lily's hopes all too visibly. That didn't last long. No shit. Rin's, as far as I can tell, unbased assurances aside, what should be done? We could just leave her to her own devices, whatever those are, but it's late, and I don't think we'll be getting any thanks if Rin is found standing in the middle of the night. Which she probably will, unless she manages to remember what she was doing here in the first place. As for me trying to guess what might have been going on in her mind when she decided to embark on this adventure, chances seem to be on par with winning the lottery several times in a row. Lily's oddly too quiet. I'd appreciate some support from the sidelines here, especially if she's more familiar with Rin than I am. But it can't be helped. It seems her familiarity with Rin is exactly why she's staying subdued. So I assume you were going somewhere and not coming back to school. Any idea where? Her eyes widen in a shock and she jolts back in somewhat inartificial way, making it seem like an act rehearsed for situations like this. Are you a mind reader? Is that your disability? How unique? No, what? No, what? Why would you think that? You know what I was doing. That face, I just noticed it. It was just an educated guess. We walked to the same street in the other direction just before to get to the store. If you were going to school, we would have met you on the way. Oh. She looks a little disappointed. Yeah, she does. Like Kenshi, Rin appears quick to jump to completely irrational conclusions. Maybe it's something in the water here. I make a mental note to stock up on soft drinks. You know, that is the second time this week that someone asked if I was a mind reader. Do I really give off that impression? Rin shrugs her shoulders, which is all the answer I need. You know, maybe you should come back with us. Maybe you should come with us back to the school. Lily interjects just as I'm about to further debunk my alleged mind-reading capabilities. She sounds rather concerned, and the paper-thin smile on her face badly disguising that fact. Maybe she came to the same conclusion I did. For everyone's sake, I decided to let the mind-reading topic drop, as it's entirely inane anyway. I think someone's trying to put insane there, but, you know. Yeah, Lily's right. If you can't remember, there's no point in staying here. Rin considers the rather simple deduction for a moment, then nods. Okay. We start towards the school again, having wasted more time than necessary with this episode. Rin walks along the edge of the sidewalk in her rhythmic way, looking like a mix of a sleepwalker and a rope dancer, while Lily keeps one hand on my shoulder, tapping at the ground with her cane. Step, tap, tap, tap. Step, step. Okay, tap, step, step, tap, tap, step, step, step. Blech. Apart from that, and the sound, and a few fragmented beginnings of a conversation, it's quiet. Quite apart from the relaxing one into town at that. So how's the mural going? We're going to get bad luck. Never talk about works in that. We are going to get bad luck. Never talk about works in progress. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. Bad luck. Step. Tap, step, tap, step. She doesn't really care to talk about it. Lily's politeness feels out of place for the first time. Step, step, step. The hill of Yamaku rests on the top of a surprisingly steep going uphill. We slow the pace, but I still feel my pulse rising and my breathing getting heavier. Almost there, I can see the gates already. More than that, though, I notice that Lily's hand slightly tightens on my shoulder, interpreting as if a gesture that she wants to ask something. I speak up. Anything wrong, Lily? I resist the urge to say, aside from our traveling companion, but only just. For a moment, she seems to debate whether she should even bring it up, but goes for it anyway. Is everything all right? All right? What do you mean? How do you mean? Bleh. The fact that I can't interpret her incredibly vague question puts her off for a second. It's just you seem unusually tired, I guess. Now that she brings it up, I notice that my breathing is strangely heavy. The uphill walk has really done a job on me. Lily noticed it all too quickly. And I think that will be the end for this episode, this video. If you liked what you saw, if you liked what you saw, click like, subscribe, comment, the usual. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Until then, see you, everybody.